Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this live launch with Hunky Dory TV. The crafting captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign and we are now cleared for takeoff. In preparation for launch, please ensure all of your troubles and worries are properly stowed. You won't be needing those today. Our flight time will be a craft-filled 60 minutes or more, and the Hunky Dory crew are now ready for departure. At this time, we ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our video presentation. Live launch takeoff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have live launch liftoff.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm delighted to be with you today. We have such a fun launch. The demos are going to be extra special. If you caught it on Hobby Maker, this is your Moonstone portrait flower launch. They are a beautiful selection of dies. They were ever so popular yesterday, so I'm super excited to be able to bring them to you this morning as part of our live launch on Hunky Dory Crafts. So let's get to it because we have a little bit to go through before we get to showing you these beautiful dies. First of all, I have to introduce my guest. It's Wednesday, so of course, it's the lovely Catherine.
Good morning, everyone.
How excited are you to do these cards?
I am so excited. They're just perfect for this time of year, and they're putting big smiles on our faces.
I think so.
Yeah.
Quite uplifting, aren't they?
Definitely.
Very, very beautiful. So I'm super excited to see Kat's demos. So I hope you're having a very good week so far. We are going to share with you these dies very, very shortly. But first of all, it's time for our Win It Weekly. And this week, 5 people are going to be in with a chance of winning our Hobbies and Pastimes and Bright and Beautiful Paramount Toppers. So this is what you're going to get. This is such a good pack for making super quick cards. You've got everything you need. You don't need to cut them out actually because they're already die cut, they're already foiled. You just pop them out of here and then each individual square you'll see has another bit that you die cut. Then you just layer it up with some foam pads. It looks perfect. They mix and match really nicely with your duotones paper pads, with your adorable scoreable, with your little bits and pieces. Maybe you've got some Miri or some shimmer card that we've launched recently. You're going to be able to use that with them as well. But to be in with a chance of winning, you need to answer this question. You need to like, share and comment on this video or any of our videos throughout the week. What is another name for a miniature pansy? A rock crest, a baby franjo, or a viola sorbet?
Sorbet.
Sorbet. What is another name for a miniature pansy? I didn't even know they had other names.
No.
Very, very peculiar choices of names. But one of them is right. And this question, if you're thinking, why are we talking about pansies, is relevant because we launched our brand new club gift. So, shall we quickly look at it before we move on? Because it's really, really beautiful. We'll go to the big set so you can see it. It's absolutely stunning. Again, so vibrant, so fun, so full of the most beautiful floral details. It's really going to brighten your life. So if you want to get it, you can get it for free if you just want the toppers that are on the top row. But if you want this ultimate bundle, then it's £11.99, which is incredible because not only are you getting toppers, you're also getting a tag pad, you're getting adorable scoreable, you're getting double-sided papers, and you're going to receive those 4 toppers, foil cardstocks and the plain cardstocks for £11.99. Incredible. Okay, let's get to it because I just can't wait any longer to show you these. Take a look at this little VT for what is coming up. are there. You can see them just here in the corner, but let's show you them really nice and straight up because they are beautiful. So these are our portrait flowers. They come in our smaller packaging. You can buy all 5 of them in this one collection. And you can see there that the die cuts out the detail, leaving a really beautiful thin silhouette. They're very contemporary in the style, but they're so much fun. You can paper piece with these, you can colour them in, you can colour the insides of them, you can lay them on top of parchment to create like a stained glass effect. You can layer them on top of your acetate and colour them in if you want to do that way to create that look, but it's really, really pretty. You can use these as backgrounds as well. So they're all 5 of the dies, and I'll show you the board so you can see them all cut out because this really shows them off. So you've got the calla lily, the cosmos, the daffodil, the gladioli. I was saying it wrong yesterday. So I was just double checking that one. The gladioli and the tulips. But look at them. They are beautiful, even just cut out of white onto the back of a background. Absolutely stunning. So you can get each die for £7.99. You can get any 2 for £13.98, where you're going to save £2. Or if you get the ultimate bundle, where you're going to get all 5 of these beautiful dies, it's £29.95 and it's going to save you £10 in total. But think about these. I mean, perfect for this time of year because spring is springing. Those daffodils are coming. I can see them and they are. I absolutely love it when I can see the flowers at this time of year. It makes me so happy. So we have all of these. I'm going to quickly show you a few examples and then we'll move on to our first demonstration with Kat because we know that's what you're here for. You're here for the demos. So this one is a beautiful one done with the tulips. I love this one that Rach did, creating that stunning background and just using it as a really sort of basic silhouette there. This one again is beautiful, just having it popped out of that detail. They make the most stunning cards. I'm just trying to show you one of each here because I'll show you another lot just after this demonstration. This one is absolutely beautiful. This die as well that you can see is a die that we're going to show you in a couple of minutes on the show. But how stunning is this coloured in with your water brush markers, giving it that really beautiful look. And then we've got another one. I'll show you this one because this one's really fun. Using it, it's fun when it's the right way around. Using it to create backgrounds, and if you wanted to, you could have a centerpiece one there, sort of layered up and stood up on the front of that card, quite nice and proud. So £7.99 individually, but the best value, as always, is to get the ultimate bundle where you get all 5 of these beautiful sets for £29.95. Let's go to Kat because she's going to show you exactly what you can do with these.
Okay, so I'm going to start today and I'm going to use the beautiful daffodil because like you said, it's so apt at the moment. I really wanted to make a really fresh, vibrant spring card. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll go in and we'll start with the boring basics. I've got a 7-inch card blank and I'm going to cut that down to a 7x5 10-fold. So we pop this on. So with your score line at the top, cut that down to 5 inches.
Let's see who's joining us today. There's loads of you joining us. So good morning, people. Good morning, Sandy, Pauline, Suzanne, Wendy, Sarah, Caroline, Brenda. Good morning to you. Good morning, Hazel. She said it's a beautiful day here in Wigan.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder. Jan's watching, Michelle's watching. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the sunshine just as much as we are. It's such a fun day. When it's sunny, anything can happen. Lots of people are guessing C for that answer as well, for that Win It Weekly question.
Really?
We'll give you that again in a couple more minutes, so stay tuned if you missed it. The cards are beautiful. I agree. It's such a really nice launch. They're so simple to use as well. You don't have to be a super avid crafter. I think these are great for people starting out in die cutting.
So what I've done with the white ink mate is I've cut 2 panels exactly the same size, and they're cut to 6.5 inches by 4.5 inches.
Okay.
And one of them is going to be my base, and the other one I'm going to give you a sneak peek, again, like Natalie said before, of these beautiful wavy edge dies that we've got on the show.
Gorgeous.
So I'm taking this one, and it's got lots of like petally detail in and these little dots. So just to add a little bit of interest, I'm going to bring in my daffodil die, so I know I've got enough room to place my daffy on afterwards, and I'm just going to bring it to a slight
And you know what?
angle.
This is why these dies are incredible, because not only can you put them on the edge of your die, you can pop them anywhere. You can have them diagonal, you can have them vertical if you want to. You could create a little sort of like peeping section in the center. They are so fun. We're going to show you them after this demonstration, so stay tuned, because this is one to get, and not just one to get to work with these flowers, but it's an essential die, isn't it? It's one of those dies, and we tell you them quite often. If we bring your die set to you, and we love them, we use them all the time in card making, in the office, we can tell you that this is a set that we will use until it is out of stock, and we get told off for using it, because it's so fun and so versatile. Anne-Marie's watching as well. Good morning, Anne-Marie.
So I'm just running that back and forth through the die cutting machine.
It cuts so well as well. And something that's important to mention that I haven't mentioned before, all of your small flowers will fit through your mini die cutting machines. So if you have a Gemini Mini, they're going to fit through them. So the smallest die cutting machines, you'll be able to fit your flower dies through. So you don't have to have a big die cutting machine, an A4 die cutting machine, to use these. If you have one, great, but you can use these on your mini die cutting machines.
Can you just pass me my die brush?
Oh, sorry, I stole it off you before, didn't I?
You were helping me out, so
I was
I'll let
helping you, but I didn't give it you back.
You get a free pass for that one. So just make sure everything's popped out there. Now, I'm going to place this on here, just line up the edges so we know where we're going to do. And what I want to do to add it, that brightness and that vibrance to it, is add a little bit of an inked background behind here, but not too much, just following the pattern. So I'm just going to take a pencil and lightly mark where my curved edges.
A little bit of colour can add all of the difference.
It really does. It really just pops. So you probably can't even see that on the camera, but I have very faintly put a line on.
I can't see it. There's a magic line.
I promise there's one there. So let me just take my blender. We've got one hiding in here. And I've gone in with the Rainforest Green.
You're fully stepping into spring here, aren't you?
I know, it is a very, very bright, vibrant card. And I'm just going to follow either side of that line because I want it to pop through the little apertures that are on the cutout. And I want it to come down the other side of the card as well.
Michelle has commented to say, watch out, Kat, dye brushes go missing in that Facebook room. Dye brushes do go missing in this Facebook room, but when I was here last doing my demonstrations, was that last Friday maybe? There was 2 dye brushes in here.
And we required
2.
3 paper trimmers as well.
3 paper trimmers. What is happening in this room?
I think one of them might have been mine because I used to have a dye brush on my desk and one in my demo box. And
have you got
the one in my demo box had gone missing, so I had to bring the one from my desk. So maybe one.
Maybe one
But
is
then
yours.
this morning I couldn't find a single dye brush here, so I don't know where they've gone. Right, so you can just see we're just following that line of
That
that
looks really
background.
pretty.
And we are going to put that to one side while we work on our daffodil element. So I've got a little bit of the card left here that just fits perfectly for cutting this out.
Lots of people mentioning that they're happy to see their bulbs and their flowers starting to come up. It's so nice. We don't really have any flowers in our garden, but we did tidy the garden up over the weekend. We were talking to our next door neighbour Cynthia because she has a big pampas grass tree, and when we first moved in we thought it was ours because it was so Like it bloomed onto our side of the garden. But after tidying up the front, we realised that there's a little like stone wall between our two gardens, and it's actually Cynthia's pampas grass tree. So we spent the afternoon clearing that back. I bought a little picket fence.
Oh.
And this weekend, I'm going to go to the garden centre and buy some rose bushes. I'm going to plant some roses.
Don't talk to me about garden centres.
It's going to be a right little Disney princess house.
Which garden centre are you going
picket
to?
fences. I'm not sure.
You're the opposite end from me. I went to a garden centre yesterday with my mum and dad. And if anybody's noticing the scratches on my hand...
Oh, yeah, I saw this. I've got lots of marks on my hand too, but that's because
they've got a resident cat. And as you know, you should know by now, I'm rather a cat lover. So Cat made a beeline for the cat, who seemed very, very friendly, and then attacked.
Until he ate your hand.
Until he literally ate my hand. And I was trying to play it all cool, you know, as you do.
It hurts though, doesn't it?
It does. Now, this hasn't quite gone how I wanted it to, because I wanted the in parts and the out parts. But there's enough here. It's just because I took it forward a couple of times.
Oh, is it
it's
cut
just
a bit too much?
Yeah, it's cut a little bit too much, but there's enough for me to poke out to show you what I want to do. So, I'm going to take the outer frame out. And what you want to do is make sure that you're keeping all the inner parts as well, because we're going to colour them in.
You're going to paper piece
them back in. Now, what I usually do when I'm doing paper piecing is I like to cut it onto a piece of something thicker, like a mirror card or something, and then all your pieces tend to stick into that mirror card and you can just pick them out.
But so I've got a top tip for you, Kat, because I did this yesterday.
Yeah.
If you have some Sticky Mitts double-sided adhesive sheet, and you stick that onto the back of your cardstock, then your pieces will stay in.
Oh, that's amazing.
So if you're paper piecing with a durable scorable, then you can cut it out of yellow, you can cut it out of green. All your pieces will stay in, and then you can just trim around sort of like the daffodil head and the leaves at the bottom, and then layer like a frame over the top. So it's a quicker way of paper piecing, because then all your pieces will stay together.
That's so cool. So I'm keeping my frame completely white because I want it to pop against the colours. And then I've just brought in our alcohol markers. I've got a range of my yellows, 405, 406, 411 and 419 and 427 for my greens. And I'm just going to colour these pieces. And this is really easy. Like I said, that green just picks up on the matching ink that we used.
We were talking about paper piecing yesterday, and I said it's like a big jigsaw sometimes. So once you've coloured your bits in, or you've cut it out a few times out of different colours, then it's like which bit goes where?
Which bit goes where?
Which bit goes where?
So I'm just going in with a bit darker, and then I'm going to blend that in, because even though they're only tiny bits, we still want them to be...
It's so worth doing it, isn't it? It just adds so much definition when you're putting two colours together.
Absolutely. So we've got a few bits of stems there we can use. So let's go on to our flowers. So we know this bit is going to be a central bit, and these bits are going, that's the centre bit, and these bits are going to be the outer petals. So we'll start with lighter colours on them. So I'm going with the 405. And the other thing I like to do when I'm colouring in with bits like this, if you just get your pokey tool and hold it in place, and you can just move it round.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because they're super tiny pieces, aren't they, some of them?
They are, yeah, there's tiny, tiny ones here. And just colour all over. And then we just build up like we did before. I'm going to go in with the 405. Get some colour on, just towards the base of the petals.
It's like you're doing an operation.
It feels a bit like it. Gone with the wrong one then. We want the 411 for this dark bit in the centre. And like I said, take a little bit more time over this at home. But I'm just trying to get through. So we'll blend these colours together.
Paper piecing, I think, is a really useful thing to do with these flowers. If paper piecing isn't something that you want to do, then you can also create really nice washes with your brush markers or your ink pads, and then layer your flowers on top, and that gives it a nice touch of colour. But they are absolutely stunning dies to use with your collections.
Absolutely. So the next bit, I'm going to lay my flower back down onto this lovely base that I made. So I'm taking my
I used this
resin glue
technique
stick.
yesterday, Kat.
Good, good.
We sold so many of these glues, and they are an essential for these dies, mainly because they are such a thin die. I would say this is the best way to stick them down.
Yeah, definitely. They've completely revolutionized. I know it sounds daft, it's only a glue stick.
But it's true.
But I used to see fiddly dies and run a mile because I was like, how am I going to stick them down? It's just not fun. But this has absolutely revolutionised it. So all you have to do now is get these pieces inside here. Now, I've tried lots of different things for doing this. But what I like to do is get my Premier craft tool, like the PVA glue, the white glue. Splodge a little bit out. And then I've just taken an old little paintbrush that I have in my stash. And just paint into the areas that I want to stick. And then again, what I like to do for picking these up, sometimes you can do it with your pokey tool, but mine's a little bit grubby at the end. If you take your craft knife, and it will just usually pick it up for you, just to get them in.
And it feels so satisfactory when
it does,
it's in
doesn't
there.
it?
It just pops.
It's like...
Pops in, just like a jigsaw piece.
So we'll just put a couple of these in so you get the idea. And we'll go in with one more leaf, and then we'll put a bit of the stems in just so you can see it coming together. Just do this little one here. And of course, if you've got any tiny little bits you can't get a little paintbrush into, then if you've got a quickie glue pen, that'll work absolutely brilliantly as well.
Yeah, the quickie glue pens are really good for these tiny little pieces, aren't they?
Yeah. So we'll go in with this stem down here. I've got a piece, I need to figure out where it goes. I think it goes here. Like I said, it's like a jigsaw.
It is. It's trying to find out what bit goes where.
Is that the other way around? No. Oh, it's this bit. I've glued the wrong bit.
What a good idea to just pop the glue like into the gaps. Because if you put the glue onto the little pieces,
Yeah, you get it stuck to your fingers.
it's going to go everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love
So you
that.
just keep building it up and you end up with something that looks like this. Now, I did have a little mini meltdown just before we came live.
We did.
Because I pulled it out of my bag and somehow I've got a black splodge on my petal, but please just pretend that's not there. And you're going to end up with something like this.
It looks so good.
So we'll take that out now. And we're going to pop this back on here. Now, sentiment. As we promised a couple of weeks ago, another thing that you're going to be seeing a lot of is these fabulous
It is
stamps.
true. Are
So
essential.
I've taken the blessings. It's just perfect for this. Got a little stamp block. I do usually have one in here. I feel like I've been pillaged while
Do you
I've
want me
not
to go
been
get
around.
it?
Yeah,
Do
if
we
you
need a
don't
stamp
mind.
block?
I
A
usually
stamp
have
block.
one in my case, but it's
Emily, if you go in
disappeared.
my craft trolley and bring in my craft box, there'll be one in there.
So while we're waiting for that, we can move back to our card blank, and I'm just going to take my 406 and do a nice chunky yellow border. Where's my piece of paper before I get told off by Emily?
She's going to kill you. It's okay, she wasn't here.
Nice. And get those lovely spring colours all over this card. All the way around.
So bright and fun, aren't they, all of these colours?
Yeah, it just proper puts you in the spring mood. This would make a lovely Easter card, or just a thinking of you at Easter. So we'll start building this up. So we'll put our base layer on now.
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
We've got a selection of 4.
Oh wow. So let's find where I've hidden the blessings. And again, so it all matches lovely, I am going to take the Rainforest Green ink that we used before. And I'm just going to pop this on over the top just to make sure we're going to see it, where it's going to go. And we just go at a nice angle.
How funky. Following that sort of line that's there.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then all we've got to do is pop a few foam pads on the back of here.
And we're all done.
And we're all done.
Remember guys, if these dies are something that you will absolutely love, then you can grab them for £7.99 each. You can shop any 2 for £13.98, or if, and that's going to save you £2, or if it's all 5 flowers that you are absolutely in love with, just like we are, then you can get the full collection for £29.95, and you're going to save £10 in total.
So line this back over the top, and I think just to finish it off, we're going to go in with a couple of green pearls.
Oh yeah.
Just to make it zing, like it needs any help, but just to finish it off in this top corner. And then if I move all my mess out the way,
I love this.
we have this lovely fresh spring card.
So fun. Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
Show you some other examples as well that we've got for you. So this is a beautiful one here. Again with that daffodil, but just using complementary colours and keeping it white with some parchment. Another one that's been paper pieced here by Jane, and I love the fact she's put this onto a fresh white card blank. But if you look very, very closely, it's actually being scored, so it adds that extra special touch. We've got another one here with the tulips, and that's been paper piece, but using a silver mirror, which just adds so much touch of luxury to that one. This is a really nice idea that Barbara has done, where she's cut the die out of a cardstock and then sort of cut it away and
I love that.
Placed it back in. It's really fun, isn't it? And then Kirsty has made this one as well with that rainbow mirror. Super, super fun, and so much love for these. Like we showed you earlier on though, we do have some upsells for you. So I'm going to show you the first one. This one is our Moonstone flowers. This is it's not Moonstone flowers, this is our wavy border selection. So you can use it in conjunction or separate from the amazing flower dies. So let's have a look at the metal that you are going to receive. You've got 1, 2, 3 borders in here that have the straight edges, but they are all different in design. You then get two borders that are wavy. You've got a bigger sort of scallop and a smaller scallop here, as you can see, and then you also receive a big scallop for the opposite side, a smaller scallop, and you receive a straight edge as well, if that's something that you want to do. So if I show you the board you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. So we've got here on this card blank, I've cut them all out so you can see all the different designs that we've got and how it's going to look if you use them in this way. But then on this side you can see how you can use the opposite side to create just a scalloped border, and you could put that on foam pads and layer it up on top of your card, create more dimension. But there's so many really nice examples of using them in different ways, so let's have a look at those, because you can put them together and create this sort of like opening in your card, or you can do it really thin like Jane's done again with this one in the black. And just have a tiny little section showing. I made this card yesterday on Hobby Maker, where we did the whole front of the card and then we've laced it up, and I was inspired by a card that Barbara had made to do that. I think it's super fun. So those ones do fit your 6mm ribbon in that one. You can keep it really fresh and really simple, and just keep the same sort of effect but create a really beautiful ombre. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Rachel's chosen the most amazing complementary colours to create this, and I absolutely love it. And then we have this one as well, done with really sort of like light colours of cardstock. I love the difference in how bright this one is versus this one, but it just shows you how fun your cards are to create. And then again, using it on the bottom of your card, I created this one yesterday again on Hobby Maker with a little bit of acetate so it stands up nicely on your card. But you can do so much with it. You can use it, you can tile them as well, so they don't just have to be the size of the die. The size of the die lengthways, this is a 7x7, or is it an 8x8? I think it's 7x7. Let's just check, because this is an 8x8. This is a 7x7, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 7x7. So they're 7 in height, but that doesn't mean you can't use them on your 8x8s or your DLs, because you can tile them. You can do so much with them. So that is die number 1, £19.99. Die number 2 is this absolutely stunning frame. So in here you get 3 dies in total. You're going to get the outside edge, you're going to get an inside frame, and you're also going to get this beautiful corner border. Where have I put the board for that? Here we go. So you can see how amazing, how detailed this is. And if I get even closer, all of these little points have tiny little dots in, like stitched work. It's really something that's very beautiful and adds so much to your cards. You can use it by itself and create lovely little cards like this one. I love the borders that's been used there. You can create card blanks from it. This is a beautiful card that Kirsty made. It's crazy how she's created this, but looks so beautiful in silver and white. We've got this lovely one as well. It's so vibrant, made by Kirsty. Again, using that mirror. She's created her own map there by drawing around the die. It looks so fun. And then I've got this one as well, just to show you, if you just want to use those corner pieces, how beautiful your cards can look. And then we've got this one that we made on the show yesterday. It's a little hanging piece, but we've put parchment in it, so as the sun catches through that, it's going to create that beautiful stained glass effect. So that one, again, £9.99, but you can buy both of them for $34.98. So if you want to get them both, you can buy them together and you're going to save yourself £5. So if there are 2 dies that you're interested in getting, not just to use with this collection but to use all of the time, then you can do that as well. So that is all of our upsells. I'm going to remind you of that Win It Weekly question, because the question this week is going to give 5 people the chance to win our amazing Pyramid toppers. And the question you need to answer is, what's another name for a miniature pansy? Is it A, B or C? Get your comments in, like and share it for a chance to win. Okay, Kat, demo number 2.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this time I'm going to make a card we don't often make on the show.
Okay.
Because we like to keep things upbeat.
Okay.
But we do have to make these cards. So I'm going to do a with sympathy card, because I think these dies do work perfectly.
They really do.
For sympathy cards as well. So I am going to use the Calla Lily.
And it's such a beautiful lily, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. But I am going to literally flip it on its head to show you how you can get a little bit more from your die. So again, let's start with the basics. I've got a 6" by 6" card blank, and I want quite a lot of white space on this card.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut a matten layer from Silver Mirri and some of our beautiful blue parchment. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4 inches.
Oh, so you're going to have a really thick white edge on this one.
Yeah, definitely. But it's going to be mirrored because I'm going to put another white frame on top, so it's going to mirror what's coming. And we'll just take this to 1 notch over the 5. And I'm not going to stick this down yet because I'm going to use where I'm popping the white frame on top to place my adhesive so it gets hidden. So we've just put that to the side. And I'm going to come back in with my white ink. I'm running out of space today. I feel like the area is shrinking in on me. So I've just taken 2 of our square nesting dies, just straight edge, and I've taken one, missed a size, and then gone with the next one down, just so I get a nice chunky border that I can work with. And I'm just going to use some low tack tape to keep these in place, so I get a nice frame. And we run this through the die cut machine. So we take that through there. These plates are going independently, I
know.
think.
We need to see if we've got them back in stock, don't we?
We think we do. And we run that through. And that should be enough to cut us out a nice chunky frame. I've got some super sticky low tack tape. Just need to take this. It's not super sticky, but it's
It sticks when it goes through the
die cutting machine. That's it. There we go. But it leaves lovely clean that edge. Now what we're going to do to add a little bit of detail with this is I've taken the straight edged wavy border die, and I'm just going to repeatedly cut this, so I cut lots of like little wavy strips so I can create a background behind my wave. So if we just take a piece of the white ink me again, and we place that down, just tack it where we want it to be. And run it through, and then we're just going to repeat this. I'll do it. Oh, come on. Let me put it on the harder surface so it's sticking down. There we go. Sorry I've gone out of shot, but it wasn't working.
It won't go through, will it? There we go, we've got it, it's fine.
And then all you do is keep moving your die up
Across that piece.
across that piece, so you end up with lots of lines across. Now you don't have to be too precise. You can have some thinner ones, some thicker ones and stuff, but what you'll end up with is a piece that looks like this. So you've got lots and lots of bits
It reminds
cut
me of one of
into
those, do you know those things you buy from the shop and then they pull out and create like a spiral effect?
Yeah.
That's what it looks
And then
like.
all I'm going to do is trim the top and the bottom so they all cut out.
So then you've got lots of wavy lines.
And then you've got lots and lots of wavy lines. Exactly. And I like to just cut them all out in one go at the end because I'm very good at losing things on my desk, as you've probably noticed. So they're all in one place. So I'm going to go around with some double-sided tape on the back of the frame that we've cut. And I love doing things like this because you're adding a texture to your card
It's true.
that nobody's going to have anywhere else because you've made it yourself from scratch. And even if a few people do the same idea,
It'll always look different.
it'll always look different. So because you've got that sticky tape all around the back there, you're able to then just lay over your lines into whatever kind of funky pattern you want that you'll see in a minute. And then we just start layering them up. So I'm going to start by going over the edges to make sure that we've got some interest coming down the sides here. And if you wanted to, this is something before you put your tape down, you can have a play about with,
and
take a picture, so you've got a reference point when you come back to, and stick it down when you know exactly
looks
where
like
you
you're
want
weaving it together, but you're not, because you're just layering them on top of each other.
It is, it gives that effect, doesn't it?
It's really cool.
And you can mix and match which way you want your waves to go. And it works well, like I said, we've got some bits that are thicker, some bits that are thinner, and you can just layer them up.
Very cool idea for creating your own background.
And I think we'll just finish with one more down the side here. And it comes together
very quickly.
It does. Let's see. I'm going to put one across the top here. And then when you're happy with it, just turn it over and trim away your excess.
And then, I mean, you've already got your tape down, so you don't necessarily need to add more tape.
That's it. All you're going to do is when we pop this onto the parchment layer, is then add tape where we can see the white frame is on the back of the parchment layer, add that down to our mirror, and all our adhesives will be fully hidden. We trim that round there. Bring in your parchment, pop it down somewhat centrally, but you don't have to be precise.
Do you know what as well? Because if you did it, because you can colour your parchment with your alcohol markers, you could do like ombres in those different things, and it would look like waves.
Oh, it would.
Like a really cool abstract wave painting.
That would be so cute.
So clever. And something so different that you wouldn't think to do with those frames, because they look so pretty, just sort of like down the side of your card, on the edge of your card. But this is really fun.
It's just a different way of using them, isn't it? It's which is what we like to show you. We like to just think a little bit outside the box and do something a bit different, even if it's quite a simple card.
That are loving this as well. Loads of people are saying, what a great idea. How on earth do you think of these ideas, Kat?
Coffee. And then you just pop that down. And then you'll see when we put it back onto the thing, those two big white chunky borders really, really pop. So now we're going to go in with our calla lily dye and some silver mirror that I've hidden right in front of my face. I'm great at hiding things right in front of my face. So you want to cut yourself a couple of strips to run this through your die cutting machine. And first up, I'll show you. You've seen me do it 1,000 times before, so I'm not going to do it again, because I've just placed my die on there, run it through my machine, and I've got our usual die cut.
Yeah.
Now what I wanted to do, when I was laying it out, I couldn't get my layout with two flowers looking exactly how I wanted, and I thought what I really, really want is my lily facing the other way.
Is to reverse that die.
Is to reverse it. So what you can do is basically, if you just place your die on the back and you cut through to the other side. Now, I'm not going to lie, you will end up with a slight texture on the front of your die, because the way our dies are made is so that the die pushes through onto the side of the cardstock that you want, so you get this beautiful, clean, beveled edge.
True.
So if you cut in the reverse, you are going to get marks and it look a little bit flat, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's like a little added texture, isn't it?
It is an added texture. And what I'm going to show you after this is a trick to get the other side to match, to look the same. So you've not got one lily that looks smooth and clean and
professional and
yeah,
looking good. intriguing
But
texture.
the other way looks good with the texture.
It's
So
true.
it's
It just
just
depends which way, how you want it to look when you card making.
absolutely. So if we run this through here. Take her out.
It cuts so nicely, doesn't
And
it?
it does. So you see, we've now got the lily going in the opposite direction. And again, I'm not sure you can see on the close-up, but this one's a little bit more proud and polished, and this one's just a little flatter, and it's got a little bit of texture on it, but still looks equally as beautiful. So what I'm going to do to make this one match is literally
Run it through again.
run it through on its own. And if you've got any little bit of texture on your plates, it's not going to work with brand new plates, but come on, let's get real. How many of us have got the clean brand new plates?
It's true. It's so true.
This is where it comes in useful. So we're just going to pop that on there, run it through on its own, and it'll just pick up those little bits of textures, the cut marks from your machine, and will match the other one perfectly.
What a clever idea. So now you've got those little added bits and pieces.
You have.
And it looks the same.
It does, lovely. So all I'm going to do now is stick these down onto some white ink me. I'll go back with this bit of scrap that I've got. So onto the reverse, onto the white side. Ooh, a little bit stuck in there. As we did before, just dab that all over. Down onto your ink me. That needs a little bit more, but you get the idea. And then we're going to just fussy cut around it right up to the edge. So I'll start this off, and then this is really easy to do. It just follows the lines beautifully.
And you just trim it.
And you just trim it
As closely
trim
as
it
you
away.
can.
Yeah, all the way around. And you should be able to get quite close. I'll bring in the two I've already done here.
They look so good.
And you can get right up to that border with no white edge. So let's start putting our card together. So we'll bring back in our card blank, and we'll put our textured background that we've made down.
This is really, really cool. And you can do this. You don't have to have, like Kat said, when you're crafting like this and you want to have, you know, a different look. You don't want them all to be uniformed and the same. You can cut your die the other way and create sort of like a total sort of reverse of that image. And it looks really quite cool. Look at this.
I'm just going to layer
How
these
lovely
up
is
on the
that?
side.
It's beautiful. And I love that you've not got lots of colour in here. You've just got that hint of the blue, but it's so soft and it works so nicely for
that's
the
it.
occasion that we've chose to craft for.
That's it.
It's really beautiful.
And it just helps with that actual layering of the flower effects when you cut it in the two different directions. Because if you get a bunch of flowers or more than one flowers, the chances that they're going to be all off in the same direction is not very likely. So a couple of foam pads on this one, just to give it that little bit of a lift from the front. Just bring it down a bit, and this one's going to sit slightly off the bottom of the card, but we can just trim that away. So I'm just going to pinch that straight against the bottom of the card and just cut that, and it hits. And then we're going to return to our wonderful Moonstone Mini Sentiment Dies.
These were so popular yesterday as well, and a perfect sort of combination to work with these flowers to have your dies to use. So we've got 2 different selections you can choose from in these dies. You can either buy our sentiment dies, which Kat's using here, and they are beautiful dies that are for all different sorts of occasions. We've got congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. We've got new baby, new job, thinking of you, with love, just to say. So they're just some of the sentiment dies, but then we also have relative dies. So if you want to personalise the card you're sending it to, then we have a full relative selection. They're exactly the same. They come with a frame, border edge, as well as the text, and the text is the same too, so they work perfectly together. So in our relative dies, we have everything you can think of. You've got mum, dad, grandma, granddad, grandson, granddaughter, we've got son, we've got daughter, we've also got in-law, which is really good, so you can personalise the cards to your in-laws. There's God, son, there's God, great, and there's another one on that as well. So if you're wanting to send cards, maybe it's a christening, these would look beautiful for a christening card.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, you've just christened and you become a godparent, then you can create a card that's personal to your godson or your goddaughter. So that's a great addition to have. But there's everything included, from cousins to fiance to wife to husband. So have a look for our Moonstone Minis ranges, because they work perfectly with these beautiful dies.
They really, really do. We've got so many great essentials now. It's just amazing.
You've got everything you need, haven't you, really?
Absolutely everything. And we just keep making more and more. Like I said, these wavy edge dies, I know you're going to see them back in here week after week.
It's true.
Because they're just going to make... They're just... With one little die cut, you can just transform any card into a shape card. Simple as that. So let's bob this over here. And the great thing with the wavy ones as well is that the wave on all of them follows the same pattern.
Yeah.
So like you saw on Natalie's layered up card with all of them on, you can mix and match them perfectly together. Let's get this the right way round. Where am I going?
I think it's the right way round.
Is it
Is
just
it
me
upside
being a bit...
down? Oh no. Yeah, you're right.
I think I've just stretched it a bit. There we go. There we go, she says.
Such a lovely card.
And with the width. And just a little foam pad on the back of here. That way, and it's all stuck together. Just a little strip. On the back.
It's so beautiful.
And we'll just come along the bottom. Maybe at the top, I don't know. Maybe just on the top there. And a really clean.
So nice. And they're so in fashion now, aren't they, at the moment? Clean and simple cards are something that is really, really picking up. And that's a beautiful example of how you can make it. Do you want to be in the chance of owning all 5 of these dies? Because you can be. You can buy that ultimate collection. The best way to buy it, because it's going to save you the most money. It's $29.95. But if it's just one die that you're wanting, then they are £7.99 each. So for anyone and any budget, we've got something for you. So you can get all of the dies individually, and they look so beautiful cut out. Just in white laid up there, so you can see really stylish thin silhouette dies with some beautiful flowers in there. Absolutely Love that. What else do we have to tell you? Let's repeat our Win It Weekly question while Kat gets ready for her final demonstration. So it is this amazing collection of Paramount toppers. You're going to get both sets. There's going to be 5 winners. The question you need to answer is, what is another name for a miniature pansy? Is it A, a rock crest, B, a baby franjo, and C, a viola sorbet? A, B, or C. So comment with your answer, and we will pick 5 winners on Friday's show. But this question is very much related to our amazing club gift that we launched on Monday's show. It's absolutely beautiful. As always, if you are a member of the Hunky Dory Club, it's completely free to buy that topper set. All you need to do is pay the postage. So if you're buying something anyway, add it in. Absolutely nothing you will pay for that collection. But we also have for you on our stunning display here our Perfect Pansies Club Gift Bundle. So in this you get that free gift set, but you're also going to receive inserts, a durable scoreable, the tag pad, and those double-sided pages, all for £11.99. It's a great way to buy it. You can also, if you want doubles of this collection, if you love it so much, you can also purchase another one once you've received that free one, but you will pay the normal price of £9.99. So it's up to you how you choose to do that. But get onto the website. If you're not a member of the club, why not? Because you get an automatic 5% off, and it's so easy to join. You just go to the top of the page where it asks you to log in, you enter your details, it's an email address, and then automatically you'll get 5% off everything you buy, including this amazing ultimate bundle that we are bringing to you today. You'll get an extra 5% off that price of $29.95. It'll come down even further, which is always great to save money. Kat,
yes.
Are we ready for another demo?
We are.
Okay.
Let's get going. Just doing a bit of prep. So I'm going to use the beautiful frame.
I love this
because
frame.
we've got to. It's so stunning. So I've popped it down onto some black card because we've done 2 white and bright cards. So
nice
this time
fresh.
I'm going to do a little bit more dark. So I've just cut a piece of black stamping card down and pop my die on top, and I'm going to find my plates again. So we pop this in here. Now, because this die is quite intricate, I am going to pop myself a little shim in.
Extra shim.
Yeah. So I've just popped another piece of black card on the top. And for this card, you want to cut this out twice, both out of the black. I'm going to have muscles today with this machine. It's, whoa.
You've got that extra shimming, but it is being a bit pesky today, isn't it?
I think, like you said, I think it's just the plates. Bring that back. Woo! Feel like
got there in the end.
Yeah. So it's just helped us cut that out. So, pokey tool, we're over here.
I didn't steal it that time.
No, that was me putting it in places. So we'll just get rid of our tape.
You have to be so careful when you're using your black stamping card, don't you? Your black stamping card, your Ink Me card, when you're lifting it from your tape, there's always that chance that you could just take that layer off.
It is, and it's because the low tack tape is so good at its job. But if you are squeezing it through a machine, and like I've done with extra layers, you are going to press it into your cardstock. So it has just taken a bit here, but I'm going to be covering it up, so it's not the end of the world.
But look how well it cuts as well.
It's
just really
cuts
pretty, it's so detailed. That really nice lace texture as well, which looks and works so well with that.
Gone a bit aggressive there and ripped my thing. So be careful when you die brushing your pieces out, because they are so fine, these little bits here. But it's okay because I've pre-cut some. But, so we end up with 2 layers. And one is going to be our main panel, and the other one, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So the top meets the bottom to make a little base. Doing it with my nail. I've got a perfectly good scoring tool. And this will make a lovely little stand for the base of our card.
Oh, I like this.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we're going to place this over the top, and we'll end up with a card that sits like this.
That's going to give you a little bit more extra strength as well.
It is, absolutely.
So
But before we do that, I'm going to add a little bit of extra detail. So I'm going to take one of our nesting oval dies that matches and just fits perfectly inside the frame here.
that is so clever. Who would have thought that that was, like, 9 times out of 10, that your dies that you've got, your nesting dies, they're not going to be the right size, are they? But look at that, it works perfectly.
But I do think we do try and make conscious effort as a company when we're doing any shapes and stuff to make them echo the other shapes that we do. We don't...
So you can utilise all your
you
dies
can use them together. We don't do... Because people think an oval is an oval, but it's not.
It's not.
It's definitely
I
not.
tell you that it is not. There's so many different... It's not a set shape, is it? It's crazy how many different bits you can get.
Oh, there's a number of times when I've been making cards for myself and stuff, and you pull like something that's an oval and you think, right, okay, I'll just cut myself a die out of there, and like an aperture. And you're like, how is it completely different oval? They can be longer and thinner and wider.
It's true.
Now that one was a bit easier.
And look, just lifts away. Look at that.
you
Look
just-
at that aperture.
Isn't it beautiful?
If you had an A5 card blank and you use that die again in the centre, pop that over the top. That is going to add so much
Stunning.
luxury to your card. I can't believe how well that's cut. It's beautiful.
So just cut myself a bit of silver, and we're taking the matching oval nesting die that's one size up, and then we can just layer this behind the frame to give us our base to work on. And I love this one because it's so different from the other 2 cards that we've made today. It just shows you the versatility of things you can use them for. It's almost got a bit of a gothic feel to it when you do it like that.
You know what would look really nice as well? Some gilding wax.
Ooh, definitely. Me likey. So we'll take out our silver base. Me and this tape are not getting on today.
Maybe they're adding more stickiness to it. I'll have to speak to Dan. It's not working.
It is, it's doing its job. So turn this over, and we're just going to stick this onto the back. So I think I will go with, should I go tape or should I go glue? I think I'm going to go glue for the interest of time, but I would recommend
red tape.
when you're doing it for yourself, go around with your skinny red liner tape, especially going onto your mirrored surface. So do as I say and not as I do on this one. And then we can just pop that in there, and again it just fits perfectly, and when we turn it over we should have this beautiful.
Look how good that is. Oh my goodness, it actually looks
Make
like a mirror.
proper like feature out
It
of that,
does look
couldn't
like
you?
a mirror.
So, and then
can
what we
see you in
need to do is we're going to pop this back on top of our base, and it'll be like that. But we're not going to do that yet. We are now going to go over to our beautiful Tulip Dies.
It's very, very pretty, this die.
And I think these are one of my favourite. Now, I'm just wondering whether
I think you could.
big enough just to cut. Oh, look at that. I love using my waist. Oh, it's giving me another idea for a card as I sit and look at that there as well.
It's so good. It's so pretty. It looks amazing.
Right, come on, Mr. Die Cut Machine. It's the last time I'm going to use you today. Be good. I was just having a quick... Do I dare bring it back through? Will it go wonky? No, it's done beautifully. Peel that out of there. Pop this out again. And then this next bit I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it on, and you could just leave it black and silver, but I'm going to go back in with my alcohol markers and colour in onto the mirror to give that beautiful effect. And I think this one works so well with the Tulip Dies. I did a card like this for when we were doing cards for the show. And I'd just been to Glasgow, and we'd been into the Renee McIntosh exhibit, and it just proper gave me
inspiration.
Yeah, Macintosh vibes.
I love the detail when you cut these out. They're
So
beautiful.
cute, aren't they?
I was thinking of ways to use them when I was driving down to Hobby Maker yesterday, and I was looking online at some, they were like MDF cut out flowers,
Yeah.
and they were in like a stand,
Ooh.
like a long thin stand, and I was thinking you could do this with them because you could cut out like 5 of the same shape.
Yeah.
You could put them together so they create like a big thick die, and then you could heat emboss them so they're even more chunkier, they're even more like they stand out even more, and it would look absolutely incredible as like a gift to give to someone. So I think that's
really
a really cool way of being able to use them.
Okay, so I've just picked a green and a couple of the reds.
When you're doing this, Kat,
Yes.
what's the best colours to use? Do you go with any colour or lighter colours or darker colours?
I would go with the vibrant ones. It all depends on what effect you're trying to get, because we want this to be kind of like a stained glass look. We are going with our nice vibrant colours, but you can still layer up on here. Now, I like to colour in the area and then just go over with like a little dotty pattern all over, just to give that kind of more, purposeful look to it. So we just dot that all over. I won't do it with every bit, but just so you get an idea. So you just fill in.
Fine nib fits perfectly.
It does, yeah. And going back to the colours, just test it out before you go as well. Have a little bit of mirror on the side, and before you commit.
Because you could do this with your gold mirror, you could do this with your rainbow mirror.
Yeah, definitely.
Those different mirrors are going to take that colour differently, and it's going to look different. So it's a good tip. Try it before you buy it.
Definitely.
Or try it before you commit.
And then onto our tulips. So I'm going to go in with my 513 first.
I love tulips. There's the one thing I'm sad about, that when we went to Amsterdam, it was like February, so it was freezing. I'd love to go back in summer and go and visit the tulip fields.
Definitely.
So pretty.
And you don't need to be really quick with your colouring here. You can see how it's all coming together.
It's so nice.
It just gives it that extra dimension. And you can still build your colours up, so if you go in with your dark colours now at the bottom, you can still add to it. So your blending isn't going to be quite as smooth as it is on your white cardstock, but you can still get,
colour, doesn't it?
yeah.
But you can
But
see it coming through.
Definitely. But that is the kind of effect that you get on mirror and glass and stuff anyway,
true.
so that's absolutely fine. So you can just build those colours up.
It looks very pretty.
So just turn this over again. We're going to add a little bit of construction glue to the oval panel that's here, just to give it the strength. And then I will just add a little bit of glue stick to the filigree parts just to help them stick down. But do your construction glue first, because that's going to stay wetter longer than your glue stick part is. Because you do need to work quick with your glue sticks.
Although it's a wet glue, it's a really good professional glue stick, so it doesn't hold as much water as sort of the traditional glue sticks would, so it does dry it a little bit faster. Oh, it looks so good, Kat.
We got there. And you can add a sentiment or whatever you want, but I think it looks quite cute, just as a nice little ornament.
I love it. And like you say, you could have that on the side, you could have it, you know, you could change it up, you could have put, it would have been a bit more of a troublesome card to make, but you could have done the centre as acetate,
yeah,
and then had that through, but you'd have to have cut the second layer as well with the oval, just so you can get that full see-through thing. But how amazing has Kat's demos been? I was mesmerised by those two last ones. I was like, just sat here silently watching.
Thank you.
So, like we said, today's deal is the amazing Ultimate Collection, where you're going to get the 5 dies for £29.95. You're going to save yourself £10 on buying them all individually. Then we have your 2 borders as well. You've got those wavy borders and then that beautiful frame that Kat used. You can get them both together or separately, but together you're going to save £5 on that bundle. And then remember, your club gift is still available to get, so if you want to get your hands on that, then just add it to any of your orders. It's completely free. You can get 1 per customer, so remember that too. What have we got to tell you? Catch Anne-Marie tomorrow at 1 and 5 with a brand new Decollage Favourites range. I'm sure the clue is in the name. You can tell what is coming up. So Hobby Maker, Freeview, 73, FreeSat, 107, Sky 670, and you can watch on YouTube as well. So catch her at 1 and 5 with that, and then at 3 o'clock she's going to be having a look at our latest box magazine. So make sure you catch that for lots of inspiration. I'm going to be adding our filigree flowers to our rollover box. And then next up on Hunky Dory TV, myself and Kelly will be here for another Throwback Thursday show. So we will leave you to enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you back here at 10 AM.